Hola amiguitos, aquí estamos un día más en un nuevo episodio de Rock Invasion Entrevistas. Hoy tenemos al otro lado una leyenda absoluta. Tenemos a Leone de Chastain de su proyecto Leather. Es impresionante tenerla aquí, os podéis imaginar cómo estoy, así que vamos a ver qué nos cuenta, qué maravilla. Hi Leather, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Wow, I'm so hyped. I told you already, but it's a dream come true having you here today.
That's
I
great.
grew
Thank
up
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I grew up listening to your music, so it's great. It's great that you're back and that you're working and releasing stuff. It's great. It's amazing.
So I think so.
Yeah, so my first question for you today is why did you choose your nickname, Leather Leone?
I actually didn't choose it. When I went to college, and I say that loosely, outside of New York City, I befriended a family that sold leather. They had a Harley Davidson motorcycle shop. I saved every frickin' penny I had to buy this clothes, and it was amazing because I didn't have a bike, but I had all this which I don't wear leather anymore. So all this from head to toe. And my name is Kathy. So everyone started, then I started singing. So people just started calling me Kathy Leather. It was a joke. And then when I moved to California and started doing metal, I think one of my first articles anyone ever wrote about me, they just started calling me Leather because of my voice. So it just stuck. I had nothing to do with it. It's kind of funny because I'm a vegan, so it's hysterical. It's funny, yeah.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And the thing is that I think that I read somewhere that you wanted to sing, but you didn't know what to do or where to start. It was something that you really wanted to achieve, but you were like, okay, where should I start?
Yeah, I can remember having conversations with my parents about it, saying, that I wanted to sing in a rock band. I thought, but my family's not musical, and just we're like old farm town people. So I remember I started just looking in the newspapers back then and checking out. So that you went to auditions. That's what you did. You went and tried to sing, God, I was young. And then when I went to college, again, I was taking musical theater, and it wasn't enough for me. There wasn't enough aggression for me. And then some guy, God, I remember his name was Robbie just came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to sing in my band?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." So it just kind of all fell into place. And then I met people that started teaching me how to work out my voice and stuff. So I wanted it enough to where I think it just kind of came to me. People just came to me because, I didn't know what to do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The first band that you were in or that we've heard about was Root Girl.
Yes.
That was way back. I've
Yeah.
heard that Root Girl had something like a 7-year deal on CBS with Black Sabbath's manager. What was that exactly?
Well, it all sounds wonderful when you say it, but we had been working with Sandy Pearlman, who was a Sabbath guy. I was just like, but I think it was a 7-year deal. And back then that's what they did. They just, if they saw something that they could make money on, they would just grab you. But, it was always kind of I was always a little weary because they seemed like that was when they started signing all kinds of women like Leather Angel and all those sex-driven rock bands. And I never wanted to be that. And they used to come to rehearsals and stuff, and they never had any feedback. And let me tell you, when you're in music, people always start telling you what to do. There was never, they weren't really invested in it, but I was ready to sign because I wanted to do it so badly, but it ended up not working out. But I know when you say it, it sounds wonderful, but it really wasn't that glorious,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to be that wonderful.
And speaking of Black Sabbath, I think you were so brave to send a tape after Ozzy left.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Well, I did it because we had the same lawyer at the time. God, her name was Michelle. And I knew that it was a joke, but she goes, "Oh, I can get it to him." And I'm like, "Oh, please, please." So, yeah, he did. He was very gracious. I mean, but it was kind of cool, wasn't it? In the 80s to go, "Hi," some little girl going, "Can I sing with Sabbath?" But yeah, it was presented to him. And I'm sure they all got a good laugh and moved on to Dio. So.
That's amazing. I love those stories. It's
yeah. Hey, that's probably the highlight besides Ronnie. That's probably the highlight of my career, knowing that Tony Iommi listened to a tape of mine.
That's great. And then came Chastain, and I think that was because of Mike Varney, right?
Yes, I had become friends with Mike Varney when I came to California. Again, hon, you're so young. In those days, people came looking for you. Managers came to clubs, labels came to club. Their job was to go out and find the talent. So I walked into a pizza shop one day, and I ran into Peter Marino, who at the time sang with Le Mans, went on to Cacophony. Became a good friend of mine. And he said, "Oh, God, Leather, Mike Varney's been looking for you." So we just became friends. I talked to him all the time. And he kind of wanted Rude Girl on Shrapnel Records, too. But, of course, I'm like, sorry, I'm going to go to CBS. So, yes, we became really good friends. When Rude Girl didn't work out, I called Mike Varney immediately. And he said, I think I have something that you might be interested in. And he introduced me to David. And I think we were doing Mystery of Illusion probably within 3 months we were recording.
Exactly. And speaking of Peter Marino, you did backing vocals with him on a trauma record on Scratch and Stream,
everybody
right?
Keeps reminding me of that. Yeah,
it's so cool.
And again, we were just at the same. Yeah, that's right. That's where I met Cliff. We were at the same studio. It's a studio actually up the street here called Prairie Sun in Cotati, California. And we were all running around. Oh my God, we were all making our first record. And yeah, Donnie just said, "Come on in. I need a bunch of voices." Yeah, I don't think I ever even heard it. I have to ask Pete about that. I still talk to Pete all the time.
That's great. That's great. And Shrapnel Records, of course, home to great bands like Apocryphal, like Cacophony. Of course, that's amazing.
All the guitar shredders.
Yeah. Really cool. Exactly. And then came Mystery of Illusion, the first Chastain record. And I've heard you. I don't know where that was, but I've heard you say something like, you felt not so ready to enter the studio and to, you know, record that album. That was like, boom, do it.
Not at all. I was very green. I didn't know what I was doing. And I would just get a look at Chastain, and he would just go, sing, you know how to sing. Yeah, I was very green. It was very intimidating. And anybody who knows me, I don't like the studio anyway. It's way too confined. I mean, look at me. I can't stand still. To stand there, yeah. And what they would do is we would have, of course, I learned all the songs, and then they would change melodies like right there. Yeah, it was brutal. I threw many tantrums. That was a fun record. Yeah, it was green. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. And I listen to it now, and I can hear that little kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm glad everybody likes it though, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool. Back in the 80s, you guys were pretty much creative because you were releasing stuff like almost every year. Then came Rule of the Wasteland in 86, The Seventh of Never 87, The Voice of the Cult in 88, and then finally For Those Who Dare back in 90.
Chastain, I mean, he could have, and he was doing solo stuff on the side. He still writes all the time. Yeah, we did a record a year, and then we would tour the States every year. We would tour twice a year, I think.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about a club that I heard of where you were usually or a lot of the time playing? That was Bogart's. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
It's still there. I played a set with Chastain there 5 years ago. It's a killer club. Back then it was a huge metal club. It was strictly metal. Although I shouldn't say that. I met Iggy Pop there, but it's still, all the big people still go there. It was my first show with Chastain. I think it holds about, 1,800, 2,000 people. And I can remember that it was so crowded that the fire marshal came. Huge club. It's just one big room with one big stage. Yeah, it's an incredible, incredible place. And like I said, it's still there, but now they do everything. They do from rap to rock to, it's a great club. Bogart, Cincinnati, Ohio. Love it. Love it.
And then just between The Voice of the Cult and For Those Who Dare came your first solo record, Shockwaves. A great record, or so I think. And there were parts of it that were written by Chastain, but there was a collaboration by Mark Shelton from Manila Road.
Yeah, he actually
Mark Shelton.
He sent me that song. I know, God rest in power, Mark. He sent me that song, and I remember that we changed the tempo. It was a lot faster. Yeah, and he said you can have it if you want it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I want it. So yeah, I think because I still play that song live, so I think about him all the time. Yeah, that was a gift. We had played with them, and they were around the States at that time, so around Chastain at the time. So yeah, that was from Mark. I remember him saying, "Hey, do you want to check out this song?" And David and I loved it. We loved it immediately.
Yeah, and on that very album on Shockwaves, there's another song called Something in This Life, which is based on a conversation with Dio, right?
Yeah. Oh God, Ronnie. I think it was like the second time I had met him. We were on his bus. And it took me a really long time. I don't know if I ever really did to be able to just speak with him the way I'm speaking with you. I mean, I hung out with him a few times. And I didn't know what to say. It's just, and I still say that to people that are good. Do you know what you're doing? That what you do, what you create, what you say? And it's like I said, it's just magical what you do. And he looked at me and he said, it's something that you will acquire in this lifetime. He goes, you will get older, and it will just come to you. He said something. Ronnie was so mystical. He's just be open. Yeah, he goes, it's called, that's where that line came from. It's peace of mind, and you will get it. It's something in this life that you will acquire, I think he said to me, and that just resonated with me. So yeah, I try every record all the time I have an opportunity to write. I always do something about him, but something he said or something he did. Yeah.
Exactly, because he was a huge influence for you. It was like the huge discovery for leather,
yeah,
right?
I was late into metal. I was from upstate New York, so I was more into arena rock, the Fleetwood Macs, the Bostons, Elton John. And then when I got into metal and there was Sabbath, and I was like, holy shit. And then Holy Diet. Yeah, I was blown away from the moment I heard him. It's like my whole cavity opened up. I mean, so I used to meet him and go, yeah, he was, and he was shorter than me. So yeah, I still think about him. I think about things that he said and little tips that he told me. Yeah, he was just a great experience in this world,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, after all, for those who dare, you took a long break, like a 20-year break.
I know, that's so funny to me. Was it because it was nothing on Chastain and I did not part unfriendly. It was like, oh, whatever. And I lived in California at the time still. And I said, I'm just going to take some time off and gather my thoughts and find out what I want to do. Well, I wanted to do more aggressive music. So I hung out for like 6 months, and I started trying to audition for heavier bands. It was a little new, and no one was really open to it. So I just went away. I had met with some labels. Nobody had the same vision as I did. Again, that was a long time ago, and women were just kind of, they wanted you to be more on the sexual side. Yeah, look at me. I'm a tomboy. It's nothing that's been of any interest to me. I don't care what's in between my legs. We all got them. So I walked away. I didn't really fight for anything. And I had always been really proud of what I did with Chastain. And I just walked away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you've just said something that I find really interesting, and that probably drew my attention when I first listened to Chastain and when I first discovered all this leather universe, so to speak.
Yeah.
And it was exactly that. As a teenager, I was into metal, but all the girls that were singing in bands were this type of sex-driven girls that didn't resonate at all with me. Like, why can't I have a female model, like a powerful woman that, just gets on stage and, shreds everything?
It used to really bother me that, because of course that was the age of Madonna. Madonna was Madonna because that's what she felt. It came from her insides. And God bless people that feel that. I am now overtly sexual. And that's what you should say. Why can't you have a female Hatfield? Nobody's on him. Oh God. And it still bothers me when I talk about it. Still bothers me when they would have all those mother frickin' lists about the top 10 girls. And they still do that. I don't ever say the top 10 guys. Yeah. And again, the 80s was so sexually charged, even the 90s. And, it was the same with the guys. I mean, look at Sebastian Bach. He was a friend of mine. Sex sells. It still does. But it bothered me. And I also had known Don Crosby, who was just killer in her jeans and her t-shirts. But yeah. And I was also surprised why anyone would ever even look at me that way. You know, I mean, there was a day of Doro. Doro's still so beautiful. Lita Ford, it was the blonde, beautiful, you know, sexual woman. That's not me. Get off it. Oh, God, it gets me so angry. Who cares about gender? I don't go to look at somebody. I mean, the comments that I had labels say to me, but yeah, it used to piss me. It still pisses me off.
Exactly.
But I think it's different now. I see all the women that are really big, and most of them wear their clothes, so it's really refreshing. Yeah.
I think so too. You know,
yeah.
I hate this stupid. You know, there's people who say, yeah, this genre, this female-fronted metal. What?
Yeah.
How's that a genre?
I know. I know.
It makes no sense at all.
No sense at all. It's a type of music. I know. And they're still doing that. I know. And I try to be very, very gracious to all these sites and stuff, but I'm not interested in being a woman in metal. I mean, it's so boring to me. Yippee, I'm a woman. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I have a real problem. And I know that hurt my career. I know that it did, because I wouldn't fall into that. I don't care. I have to be honest. I can remember saying to somebody, okay, so all of a sudden I'm going to come out in thigh-high boots and a bustier. Come on. But yeah, they'd have the same reaction that you did. Okay. Actually, you're making me think. One night at Bogart's, big show, Chastain. I wore thigh-high boots, and they have, you know, the big spandex days. And of course I wore spandex all the time. And I had some like low cut thing, and I had my hair all plastered back with red lipstick. Hysterical. And nobody would really say that, like the band wouldn't really say anything to me, but after the show, people are like, no. And I'm like, thank you. They're like, no, get your sneakers out. It was hysterical, you know. I'm like, okay, you know, I'm thin. There you go. But anyway, it was funny. People were like, no more.
That's great.
Yeah, it is great.
And then after taking this short break,
yeah,
you came back to Chastain, and I have to say, when you guys released Surrender to No One back in 2013, I thought, ooh, should I give it a listen? I'm nervous because you know, when it comes to reunions, I used to hate reunions. I have to tell you the truth. Why? Because I've seen so many bands, you know, playing live shows and, you know, ended up so disappointed after that. Disappointed, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got the record, I had it, and I wouldn't dare opening it. And I had it for a week. Exactly. I had it for a week sitting here next to me. What should I do? Okay, I wouldn't listen to anything on YouTube. Nowhere. I didn't want to.
Hysterical.
So then I said, okay, get your shit together. Open the fucking record, play it, and then boom, surprised. It blew my head off like boom. That was just funny. Huge. That was really huge. That was I had done that project in LA with the Dio people, and I'm always in touch with Chastain, but since I was doing all this stuff by myself for the first time, I would always call him for advice and stuff. And he calls me Miss Lather. You know, he's from the South. He's from Georgia. And he goes, you know, Miss Lather, I have some material that I think might be good for Chastain. And I said just what you're saying to him. I said, yeah, we can't do this stupid frickin', it has to be good. It has to be good. So we worked on it. I actually am not, I don't really think that's a good record. I don't really think that I was vocally in shape yet, but people like it. Yeah. I wasn't that crazy about it, but people liked it. We do.
Yeah. Thank you, people. Yeah.
Yeah, and prior to that record, prior to Surrender to No One, you had a project with Sandy Sledge, who played drums with you in Malibu Barbie, but she was, I don't exactly know for how much time, but she was in War Bride too. A great band, War Bride.
Yeah.
They sadly didn't release any records, only demos, but a great band.
I don't know much about them, but I know that she did War Bride, yeah.
And yeah, with Sandy, you guys released Imagine Me Alive.
Yes. with
Very
we
interesting
did,
record, I have to say.
yeah, it was kind of different. It was very different for me. But again, I was blessed to work with Scott Warren and Jimmy Bain from Dio. That
Exactly.
was, I got to tell you, walking in a room with Scott Warren, I mean, I was like 12. And he would just share stories with me. A really cool guy. He helped me out a lot with rhythms, with timing. And then we would rehearse. We did a couple of shows in LA, and we rehearsed. I think it's called Sun Studios. It's some studio down there where they would rehearse for their tours. I mean, it was like it changed my life again. The cavity opened. So it was a cool experience. I learned a lot from them. Nothing really came of it, but it was good. Again, I got back into it. That was unfortunately after we had lost him in 2010, and I said I've got to do something. So that was me kind of getting back into the recording again. You know, my voice wasn't really at its best then, but yeah, it was great. And again, that led me to Surrender to No One. So it led me to, you know, all of this.
Speaking about the voice, wow, you have a pretty impressive voice. That is something that we all know. How do you take care of it? Like, how is it even possible? I know you get this question a lot. Like, how is it humanly possible to reach that note in a dream? I know you get that, and you said you were just fucking around at the studio.
Just screwing around. And I tell you, that's what smart engineers do. I'm going to make sure they do it because as a singer, just like you're always walking around listening to playback. And I did that as a joke, as a total joke, just to see. And then in chat, and they kept it in. Yeah. And, you know, the reason I'm laughing at this is because I was just having that conversation with my guitar player, Vinny. How do you take care of your voice? I'm really blessed. It's a muscle like anything else. As I sit here getting ready to go have a wine brunch, what do? I run. It's for me, it's a cardio. I really got into spinning. I run. I hate it, but I run and sing. I treadmill and sing. You just got and sleep. It's sleep and water, sleep and water, sleep and water. I did, because I know I'm going to be recording this year. I will sit around at night and I'll just go online and do some warm-ups. And I learned that, basically I will sing just the way I'm speaking with you. You don't project. But yeah, really, it's running, sleep, and water. Running, sleep, and water. Right? I mean, I tell you, when I was doing 2, there was a couple nights when I was so excited to see the guys that we were just kind of up all night. No drinking, no coffee, nothing. And I can't do it. I need to sleep. And it's funny. I think of this interview that I saw with Mariah Carey. You know, her voice is so clean, years and years ago, and she was saying, "Oh, stay away from dairy, stay away from milk. You don't want to get all that." Well, I love that. So, I drink. So it's how you want to sound. I like to go in there and sound rough. I don't want to sound warmed up. That's what I tried to do on 2. I don't think I was necessarily that successful, but I was just listening to Let Me Kneel. I wanted my voice to be so natural. I'm not a guitar. I'm not always in key. I'm not you waver, you crack. And I just like real voices, like Alone, the Alone song by Annie Wilson, where she left that one crack in it. Beautiful. But I like real voices. I can't deal with that 80s bullshit production. They would press the button and we were all in the sound tone. I'm really worried about that. But yeah, I'm sorry. Running, sleep, water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. And then the latest Chastain release is a I can speak. Weebly Metal.
Yeah.
From 2015.
Good record. That's a good record. Yeah. Really happy with it.
There's different versions of it. Like David is redoing it like every day. What is going on with Weebly Metal? How many versions are there? My guitar player Vinny is a lot like that now. He just gets different versions in his head. That's what he likes to do. He likes to write a song and then change it. I know, didn't he just put out 1321 and he obviously has to get my permission, but I kind of don't pay attention. Yeah, he just keeps doing different versions of the songs. And also, excuse me, I'm sure you understand this. You write a song, but then it changes 17 times. So there's always kind of those other versions that stick. And, I always love it just into it's like, what is this, the 17th release?
of We Bleed Metal, but people love it, people love it. And I do We Bleed Metal live too. And very quickly, a funny story. I didn't want to do that song. I said to him, this song is, and no offense to Twisted Sister, love them all, but I said, choose Twisted Sister for me. I'm like serious about metal. So we didn't record it. I come back home and he said, well, we need more time. So he goes, I'll do something. So like a month later, he goes, Miss Lather, we got to do the song. So I had to go up the street to my friend's studio and record it. It ended up being okay. But I'm like, no way, we aren't doing it. It ended up being everything, right? I put my foot down, God damn it.
Yeah. And speaking of different versions, For Those Who Dare got a re-release last year because of the 30th anniversary with a different mix, which was really cool.
That was the original mix. That was the mix that we wanted to use. Yeah, oh, it's so much better. And again, that's why David Chastain stays away from labels. That was the first time we were on a major label. And that was when Sepultura came out. And they had them, love those guys, friends of mine. And they wanted Road Racer at the time, which is now Roadrunner. I think they were Road Racer then. They wanted everything to have that same production. So they take it and they do what they want. That's why Chastain is not in. But yeah, original version, the original mix just came out. Love it. Love it so much better.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. I have, by the way, Shockwaves somewhere on the way to Spain because I ordered a re-release with a poster and different things. Yeah. I don't know. It will come someday. No, because I ordered from Brazil.
Did you order it from Brazil? Oh, Brazil. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me know if you don't get it. I might have something around here too. But yeah, they have it. Yeah, it really did. That Brazilian label really did a lot with it. Yeah, it sold really well.
Really cool.
So funny. Yeah.
And then we have to speak, of course, about Leather 2, your latest release, which is amazing. Come on, how can you start a record with Juggernaut? It's like, boom. It's so huge. It's like from the very first note, it's just to the throat. Boom.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know. So many people said to me, you sounded so angry on that record. It's like, no, it wasn't angry. It was my voice crying out after 20 freaking years of not. I finally could do stuff the way I wanted to. It was finally my material that I worked with. Yeah, that record. And again, that record was done really fast. No, it was a really good record to come out with. Again, it didn't have major distribution. It's not like it was that well. It was well received, but yeah, I can still listen to that. I can't listen to a lot of my stuff. I can still listen to parts of that. And I think I listen to it because I'm writing my new record with Vinnie Tex, and there's certain things that I want to change, so we kind of compare it. But yeah, good record. And again, you're talking about Juggernaut. Okay, so we do Juggernaut, great opener. We know that we're going to do that. Closing song, Give Me Reason. Oh my God, I didn't want to do it. Oh, again, Vinny, he's so blues. So he gives me that song, and I'm like, no. Well, hold on. I said, no, I don't. I'm like, I don't do stuff like that. So, but I respect him. I love him so much. I said, you know what? I'm being a fucking baby. Let's do it. So we come up the melody. I did the lyrics, and then when I recorded it, it was so much fun, you know? So it was such a dichotomy, right? Juggernaut, Give Me Reason. So I'm in the record. I'm like, no more Van Halen song. Isn't that weird? We used to have Chastain shirts that someone made up called The Most Serious Band in Metal. I am so serious about what I do and how I do it. It's ridiculous. Have fun. So that song is just having fun. But I won't do another one.
Great.
Yeah. But thanks. I'm glad that you like that record. I'm really proud of that record.
What can you tell me about the vocals? Because I know that you guys had the vocals already recorded in Brazil, but you then went to Poland. What was that?
Well, when they were done, they weren't right. And as an artist, you know it, you know. So Vinny called me up and said, we got to do them again. And we were on the road. We were touring. And Vinny has a relationship with the Hertz brothers in Poland, where I'm going to go back to do the new one. And we weren't far away. I'm sorry, I get so confused on where I was, but we just hopped on a plane. They said, yeah, they had like 5 days open. So we just went there. And again, we're talking about sleep. Oh my God, we did a show, slept for a couple hours, hopped on a plane, went to Poland, trains, buses, everything to get to the studio. It's in the middle of nowhere. And then I just redid everything in 5 days. And I think that's why my voice was so cracked. Oh, my voice was beautiful. It was tired. I love when my voice gets tired. So anyway, we did it in Poland. And it was an incredible experience. All the big behemoth, Vader, hate, all this heavy, extreme people record there. So they were really, really open. They wanted to do something more melodic. And oh my God, they're great. The Hertz brothers. So yeah, I was in and out in 5 days. They redid what they could, and it was much better.
And speaking about extreme metal, are you into it?
Oh God, yes. I always say that again to Vinny. Yeah, I am very, very into it. Love the new Cannibal Corpse, but the vocals do always kind of. I always think someone should take that kind of music and really do like a classic metal voice over it. But oh no, I love it. I love Ginger. I can't get enough of Ginger. Courtney from Spirit Box. Oh my God, that freaking bitch is amazing. Arch Enemy. I love Lamb of God. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the anger. I love the aggression. I mean, it sucks you in. How can you not? And I think a lot of people, I listened to the old Chastain records. My voice was kind of going in another direction, although it was a production too. And it's like, no, I can't. Voice of the Cult. No, that's not how I sing. So now that I'm on my own, I think I'm taking the extreme influence. I mean, We Bleed Metal's dirty. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I would say to Vinny, can't I just do one Cookie Monster? But I can't do it. But in the demos, I'm doing it all. And he came from that world. So he wants melody. He wants Dio melody. But no, I love it. I really like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys are already working on a new album. I think you were thinking about some titles already. I heard something about Shadows, Metal is My Name, or something like that.
Oh, no, We Are the Chosen, which is that same song. Yeah, We Are the Chosen is the name of the record. I had the artwork done. But again, you talk about my Brazilian connection. I have connected with Marcelo Vasco, who does all the Slayer covers. Oh, my God. He's done my cover. Oh, my God. It's sick. So, yeah, it is called We Are the Chosen. I have 9 songs in.
That's really cool. Wow. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's so great. No, it's so great. It's so great. It's just Vinny and I. There's no more outside. It's awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to Poland and do it.
That's great. And Vinny is a great player. He's amazing. What a great guy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Brazil is full of great musicians. They always told me that. I mean, there's so much talent down there. It blows my mind and there's something about Brazil. Have you ever been?
No, unfortunately not.
It's just like a really magical, mystical, voodoo-y old place. As soon as I got off the plane my first time, I think I went there in 2014, it just sucked me in, man. The streets and the talent and the beaches and the nightlife, and there's all these creature people. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And I found them and they aren't jaded. Us Americans tend to be really jaded, and everyone, I didn't make it. But it's like all a pity party. They just want to play. They're so hungry to play. So I connected with them musically right away.
That's great. And well, you've already played Keep It True here in Europe,
a couple times.
In Germany. Yeah, exactly. How did you feel about the festival? Because the audience gets crazy.
That was my first show that I played with Sandy, with Sledge Leather. Oh my God, the first time I was ever on stage in, like you're saying, 20 some odd years. And I don't really get nervous, but I was backstage going, what the fuck did I do? and it was funny. And it's because it's in a big, have you been to Kit?
Not yet.
Okay, so it's in like a huge gymnasium. So people just wander all over the property. And all of a sudden it started pouring. Everybody, it's like 3,500 people. Everybody came inside. And I was like, it was heaven. I just found a bunch of pictures of me from behind me. Well, the Europeans are just, I love America, but we're just so snobby. And as Dio said, we're the American Idol country. They're so loyal. And I mean, there's 20-year-olds singing songs that I sang before they were born. Hungry, they know everything. They dress like we did in the 80s. They got the blonde streak. Lovely, lovely people. They're so hardcore, gracious. I love Europe so much. Yeah, love it.
You have a huge fan base here in Europe.
Huge! And isn't that funny? I never went there with Chastain, but again, they held on to that 80s, 90s stuff. Even Brazil, the music that country listens to is like 70s, 80s soft rock, American soft rock. So they really held on to it. This country kind of went away, and yeah, it's great. The experience is great. It always gets me when I sing like Angel of Mercy. I mean, it makes me freaking lose it. They just it's so beautiful. They all sing. Yeah, it's great. And actually, the last Keep It True thing, I couldn't hear. I was having trouble with my earbuds, and I couldn't fucking hear. And I'm going to my guy, I can't hear. I can't sing the song. I can't hear. And he said, let the audience sing it. That's exactly what I did. I'd sing a line. They sang the whole frick. It's great. But I like Keep It True a lot. I just saw that Rock Goddess is going to play it. Yeah, I just saw the new poster.
If you knew somebody who asked you, yeah, I would like to discover your music, which of your songs would you recommend to that person and why?
I just had a young girl. I think her name is Sierra. She's on Instagram. I wish I knew her tag. I would tell you. Young girl, 13, 14, singer-songwriter. I can't believe the shit she's writing. Anyway, she reached out to me. Love you. Can I do a song? And she asked me which one. I told her to do Annabelle. I don't know. I would say pick one. I don't really have a favorite, but I always tend to do the ballads. So I would always say probably like Angel of Mercy and Annabelle. There was that band. Well, Hammerfall did Angel of Mercy. Hammerfall did it. And isn't there's a band called, is it Powerwolf that did Voice of the, there's been a few with Chastain, but yeah, I tend to like the Annabelles because I want to see what people can do with it. I like vocal drama. So I would say Angel of Mercy, Annabelle, even Endlessly from Mystery of Illusion. I want to see what people can do because anybody can sing in front of a loud guitar. It's when that dynamic goes down, you got to show your shit, so that's what I like to see. Yeah. That's why I like doing demos so much and I like posting them, even though they're so bad. But you want people to know that I'm not a produced singer. I don't need that freaking button, So yeah, it's real important to me.
Yeah, exactly. You're the real deal.
Well, yeah. There were a lot of people in the 80s, the pop people that had these great hit songs, and spending a lot of time in LA, you realize that they didn't even really sing. So that kind of breaks my heart when someone is thrown out there. People are looking at them, huge records, and they can't even really sing it, That's what bothered me in the 80s, that you would listen to a band and then you would go see them and the vocals would be. So that was the goal that I had with Chastain. I'm going to record Voice of the Cult and I'm going to go sing it the same fucking way. That was always my gig. It's going to sound the same. Yeah.
And can we expect new music from Chastain or?
We were actually talking about it before COVID, but I don't know. He's kind of, I don't know. I'm always game for it. And again, we were talking about it, but I think he's kind of at the end. He always says to me, I don't know if I can do this again, but it's like, you're sitting in your studio every freaking day anyway. I don't know. I think we might have one good one in him. And I have to start telling him, because all these interviews I'm doing, everybody wants to know, we should do a finale, we should do the final or whatever.
Very good.
Yeah. But I'm so hyped up right now on We Are the Chosen. I mean, that's my whole life. I have so much big stuff going on for me for the first time in my life that I can't. I'm hoping I am going to get to Poland this year to do it. That'll be done this year.
That's great. I can wait. I can wait. Yeah, I'm already hyped. Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I have one more question for you.
Okay.
It's a question that I normally ask, and sometimes I get a surprise, sometimes I don't. I would like you to recommend some music that you have been listening to lately. It can be whatever, rock, metal, the 60s, jazz, I don't know, whatever.
Let me tell you what it was. I've been listening to the new Justin Bieber. I don't know how new it is, but girl, you got that yummy. And the new Lamb of God. Oh my God, it's blowing my shit. And like I said, Spirit Box. I don't even know what was the name of that record. Holy Roller. I listen to a lot of that. Of course, I'm getting back into Magica. I love hearing Ronnie's voice. I've been listening to Trivium. I've been actually diving into Slayer. I was never really a Slayer person. Rude Girl was supposed to open for Slayer before it fell apart. And I can remember going, holy shit, we're going to get killed. A bunch of girls opening for Slayer. So I listened to all stuff. Yeah, Bieber, Lamb of God, Ginger. And I've been listening to Vinny Tex had a band called Unearthly before he met me in the mid, I think it was around 2012, 2013, 2014. Sorry, V, if I'm saying the wrong thing. They have a record called Baptized in Blood. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Well, I love melody, you know. And Vinny turns me on to, I can't think of their names, but there's so many exquisite Brazilian women that do, singer-songwriter women that do guitar, folk rock. Yeah, I do. I listen to everything. I only want to do metal, but I listen to everything. You can't, because people say, how did you do? Yeah, you have to listen to everything. And then you find, because like I said, I didn't go, oh my God, I have to sing metal. I knew that I wanted to sing. And I was singing, Benetars. And then I can remember I started singing Joplin. And I never did it well, but I can remember going, I like that, And then when I auditioned for Rude Girl, they asked me, I did Annie Wilson's version of Rock and Roll. This is Zeppelin. And they said to me, try to sing like Bon Scott. Well, I couldn't, but I was like, it just clicked for me. Yeah. But yeah, listen to everything. But yeah, the latest Lamb of God is fucking sick. God, I love Randy. Is he the only guy that can sing that extreme and you can understand every freaking word he says? I love that guy. Do you like Lamb of God at all? I love that crap. Do you like it? Do you listen?
I like their old stuff more than what they're doing right now. But you're right. It's really cool that the guy is understandable,
And he says that he never loses his voice. He doesn't do shit. He never gets hoarse. But yeah, I would say Lamb of God and Justin Bieber. Go listen to both.
Interesting mix right there.
Right. Juggernaut, give me a reason. Lamb of God, Justin Bieber. Shout out to Justin Bieber. No, well, I listen. I have Sirius radio in my car and it works. So but I'm really stuck in the 80s. I listen to Sabbath, Maiden, Dio, of Exodus. I mean, where I came from, I do listen to Heart. Yeah, I just love music. We all just love music, whatever makes your hair stand up, as Ronnie used to say. And like I said, I've been getting into Magica. I'm getting into so much stuff now that I didn't really pay attention to when Ronnie was with us, and now that he's gone, I listen to it. Yeah, Dio. Really good to talk to you. Hey, do you have a shirt or anything of mine? Send me your address. I'll send you one.
Oh, great.
Of course. You have to be wearing it online.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Send me your size and your address. And again, keep me posted about shockwaves because I might have one around here if they don't send it to you. It was the Brazilian version is a good one though. It's all put together well.
Yeah, exactly. So it was great having you here today.
I'm
really looking forward to a new record. Yeah. So
yeah, it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be intense, I gotta tell you. It's gonna be intense. Vinny and I are working so hard. But yeah, good to talk to you too. Stay in touch with me.
Will do.
Bye, babe.
Thanks a lot.
Of course. Bye.